There are prayers that no one else has ever heard from your lips, and yet they have never been ignored. They are the cries hidden in the silence of your heart, the whispers you carried when nobody was around to comfort you, the deep requests you made while your face was turned away from the world. These are not forgotten, and they are not unseen. On August 28th, the promise comes alive that even what you thought was buried in silence is on its way to be answered. It is a reminder that there is no word wasted, no tear unseen, and no longing dismissed. What has been hidden inside you, often in pain, often in quiet strength, will not remain hidden forever. The power of hidden prayers is that they are pure. They are not made to impress. They are not crafted to be heard by others. They are the most honest expression of your soul. And this is why they hold weight. On August 28th, when you are reminded that your hidden prayers will be answered, it is not only about the requests you made. It is about the fact that you have been seen all along. Nothing has slipped past the eyes of the divine. Every moment you felt alone, you were actually surrounded. Every hidden prayer has already been planted like a seed in the ground. And August 28th is the season where some of those seeds begin to break open. It is easy to believe that only what is spoken aloud matters, but silence has its own language. The quiet cries in the night carry more strength than the loudest speeches in the day. And you know this truth deep inside you. The breakthroughs that change your life do not usually begin with noise. They begin with an invisible shift, a silent awakening, an unseen turning of the tide. That is the meaning of August 28th. It is not just another day on the calendar. It is the confirmation that silence has power, that hidden prayers are answered, that what you carried inside your heart without words has reached its moment of release. To understand the weight of this day, you must look back at the moments when you felt abandoned, when you thought no one could ever understand what you carried. Think of the nights when your chest was heavy, but your mouth said nothing. Think of the battles you faced when you smiled on the outside, but were breaking within. Those hidden cries were not weakness. They were your greatest offering. And on August 28th, you are reminded that the unseen is stronger than the seen. Life is shaped more by the secret discipline of the spirit than by anything people can watch with their eyes. This is also about growth, because every hidden prayer is a seed, but the waiting for the answer is the soil in which you grow. You may have thought nothing was happening, but in truth, everything was happening. The silence built resilience. The unanswered moment built patience. The waiting stretched your spirit wider. When August 28 arrives, it is not simply that prayers are answered. It is that you have been transformed to be able to receive the answer. Without the growth, the answer would not have been complete. Hidden prayers are not just about what you want. They are about who you become while waiting for the moment of fulfillment. On August 28, allow yourself to remember that nothing you whispered in faith has been lost. Nothing you longed for in silence has been forgotten. The answers may not look exactly as you imagined because they are not meant to. They are shaped to fit not just your desire, but your destiny. The real answer is not just the thing you asked for, but the strength, clarity, and transformation you gained through the process. The hidden prayer is answered when you realize that you were never alone and that you have been carried to this very day with purpose. You stand now at the edge of a shift. The words you never spoke aloud are echoing back to you. The tears you thought were wasted have watered the soil of your breakthrough. August 28 is not just a date. It is a call to recognize that you are stepping into a season where the hidden becomes visible, where silence produces sound, where secret prayers rise to the surface and take form. This is the moment to acknowledge that the unseen world has been working in your favor all along. So let this day not just pass like any other. Let August 28 mark the recognition that your hidden prayers are not hidden anymore. They are alive, they are unfolding, they are being answered in ways that will surprise you. Take courage, because the silence has spoken louder than you ever imagined. What was once invisible is now becoming visible, and you are walking into the proof that your soul was never unheard. This is the power of August 28, the revelation that the hidden is powerful and that your prayers are answered. There is a reason why August 28 stands out. Life is not random, time is not empty, and every season carries its own meaning. To understand this day is to understand that there is a divine order, a rhythm that moves beyond what you can control. When you hear that on August 28, your hidden prayers will be answered, it is not only about receiving something you have long desired. It is also about recognizing the power of timing. Timing is everything. You can plant a seed, but if the soil is frozen, nothing will grow. You can ask for change, but if your spirit is not yet prepared, the answer will not last. August 28 reminds you that answers do not come early and they do not come late. They arrive exactly when the moment is ready. Divine timing means that you are not in control of when things unfold, but you are in control of how you prepare yourself while waiting. August 28 is proof of this. The struggles you endured before this day were not delays, they were preparation. The moments you thought nothing was moving were actually the very moments where everything was aligning behind the scenes. What you thought was silence was not silence at all. It was a time of building, a time of strengthening, a time of shaping your spirit. And when August 28 arrives, you will see clearly that nothing was wasted. Every single step brought you here. This is where growth begins. Because to accept divine timing is to release control. You do not demand the answer on your terms. You trust that the answer comes when you are truly ready to hold it. The waiting is not meant to break you. It is meant to prepare you. Imagine receiving what you prayed for when your heart was still weak. Imagine holding what you longed for when your character was still unshaped. It would not last, and it might even destroy you. But when the answer comes at the right time, when August 28 arrives, it comes with peace, with stability, with the strength to carry it forward. The truth about timing is that it often feels painful. It tests you, it stretches you, it makes you wonder if you are forgotten. But August 28 is a reminder that waiting is never wasted. Every moment of delay is building capacity in you. Every moment of silence is strengthening your foundation. And when the right moment comes, the release feels effortless, like fruit falling from a tree that has ripened perfectly. This is how answers arrive when the timing is divine. They do not come with struggle, they come with flow. August 28 is a teaching that there is a higher wisdom guiding your path. You do not always see the pattern, but it is there. Just as the tides move in rhythm, just as the sun rises exactly on time, your life is also guided by this invisible order. To fight the timing is to exhaust yourself. To trust the timing is to find peace even when nothing seems to move. This is why August 28 matters. It is the day to remember that patience is not weakness, it is alignment. By being patient, you align yourself with the higher order, and this alignment opens the way for your hidden prayers to be answered. Self-growth comes when you stop chasing what is not yet ready. Growth comes when you learn to trust the process and use the waiting to refine yourself. On August 28, do not just wait for the answer, but ask yourself who you have become during the waiting. Are you stronger than you were before? Are you clearer in your purpose? Are you able to carry more than you once could? If so, then the timing has already worked in your favor. The day is not only about receiving something external, it is about realizing how much you have been shaped internally. The significance of August 28 is not that it suddenly changes everything, but that it reveals what has been in motion all along. The divine has always been working, even when you felt still. The answer has been forming, even when you felt nothing. This day is a mirror showing you that patience has power, that silence has purpose, that divine timing is real. And once you see this, you no longer need to live in fear of being forgotten. You understand that every moment, even the quiet ones, is moving you toward the fulfillment of your prayers. So let August 28 remind you to stop forcing what is not yet ready and to stop doubting when you cannot see. Trust that the moment will arrive exactly as it is meant to. Trust that the answer is already prepared and is waiting for the exact alignment to appear in your life. The flow of divine timing is not something you control, it is something you align with. When you surrender control, you gain peace. When you accept timing, you gain strength. August 28 is more than a date, it is a symbol of this surrender, this alignment, this peace. It is the moment where waiting turns into receiving, where silence turns into answers, where the hidden prayers rise to the surface. Do not miss the lesson of this day. Divine timing is not about when you think you are ready. It is about when you are truly ready. And now, on August 28, the alignment has come. The answers unfold. The hidden prayers are no longer hidden. The timing has opened the door and you are ready to walk through it. Faith is tested not when everything is clear, but when everything is hidden. It is easy to believe when you can see the answer. It is easy to trust when the results are visible. But the true depth of faith is revealed in the unseen, in the moments when nothing makes sense, when the silence stretches long, and yet you hold on. This is why August 28 carries such weight. It is not just another day. It is the reminder that what is invisible is stronger than what is visible. Faith beyond the visible is the path to transformation, and August 28 is the marker of that path. When your eyes cannot see, your heart must lead. When the world gives you no evidence, your spirit must choose to trust. The hidden prayers you whispered answered not because you could prove it, but because you dared to believe when nothing around you seemed to confirm it. This is why August 28 is so powerful. It symbolizes the moment when unseen faith produces visible results. What you carried in silence, what you trusted in without evidence, is what now begins to take form. Faith is not about comfort. Faith is about strength. It is about standing when everything tells you to fall, about believing when everything tells you to give up. Faith beyond the visible is what sustains you through the waiting, through the silence, through the seasons where nothing seems to change. August 28 is the turning point where that faith is rewarded. It is the day that reminds you you were never foolish to believe and you were never wrong to hold on. You were never alone in your trust. But understand this clearly, faith is not passive. It is not simply sitting and wishing. Faith is active strength. It is the way you live while waiting. It is the choices you make when nothing around you encourages you. It is the discipline to rise every day even when you feel nothing shifting. Faith shapes your character long before it delivers your answer. This is why August 28 matters. It is not only the day of answered prayers, it is the day of recognizing how your faith has already transformed you. The growth you experienced while waiting is the hidden gift. Every doubt you overcame built resilience. Every tear you shed in silence strengthened your core. Every time you chose trust over fear, you rewrote your path. August 28 reveals that the unseen labor of faith has not been wasted. It shows that everything you carried in silence has been creating new strength within you. The answer is not only what you receive on this day, the answer is also who you have become on the journey toward it. To live with faith beyond the visible means to stop depending on what your eyes can measure. Your senses will often deceive you. They will tell you nothing is happening. They will whisper that you are forgotten. They will scream that the silence means absence. But August 28 is proof that silence does not mean absence. Silence means growth. Silence means alignment. Silence means preparation. Faith beyond the visible is the only way you can survive the silence without breaking. It is the way to stand firm when all you see is darkness. Look back for a moment at the times you thought nothing one was moving. Look at how far you have come since then. Was it not in the silence that you grew stronger? Was it not in the invisible seasons that your character was shaped? This is the gift of faith. It carries you through when the visible world gives you no reason to continue. It pushes you forward when everything in you wants to quit. And when the day comes, when August 28 finally arrives, the invisible becomes visible. The prayers that were hidden now break into reality. This day is dramatic not because it suddenly changes everything, but because it confirms what you already knew in your spirit, that you were always heard, that you were always carried, that your faith was never wasted. August 28 teaches you that faith beyond the visible is the real key to transformation. Without it, you collapse in silence. With it, you rise to silence. Without it, you break in waiting. With it, you are made whole in waiting. This is why hidden prayers matter. They are proof of your ability to trust without evidence. Do not let this lesson pass lightly. On August 28th, remember that the visible world is never the full picture. The unseen is where life truly takes shape. The invisible is where power is born. Faith is your bridge between the unseen and the seen. Faith is what turns silence into strength and waiting into preparation. This is why you are being reminded now, believe beyond what you can see. Believe beyond what the moment shows you. Believe beyond the visible, and you will discover that everything you longed for is already on its way. August 28 is your proof. Proof that faith beyond the visible was never in vain. Proof that your hidden prayers are alive. Proof that the unseen world carries more power than what you can touch with your hands. And now you stand on this day as a witness to your own transformation, a witness to the truth that faith beyond the visible is not just belief, it is the foundation of your destiny. Silence has always been misunderstood. Many think of silence as emptiness, as absence, as weakness. But silence is not empty, it is full. Silence is not absence, it is presence. Silence is not weakness, it is strength. The deepest changes in life never arrive with noise, they arrive quietly without announcement. August 28 is a reminder of this truth, that the prayers you whispered in silence, the tears you shed when no one was watching, are the very forces shaping your destiny. The role of silence in growth cannot be ignored. It is silence that refines, it is silence that strengthens, it is silence that prepares you for what is coming. August 28 is not about loud declarations. It is not about being seen by everyone. It is about the hidden work that no one notices, the inner battles that no one applauds, the quiet discipline that no one praises. The prayers you kept hidden, the thoughts you carried deep in your heart, they are not lost. They are heard more loudly than any word shouted into the air. Silence is the birthplace of strength. It is in silence that you discover who you truly are, without distraction, without masks, without the noise of the world. The world will tell you to speak louder, to show more, to prove yourself. But August 28 comes to remind you that your power is not in the noise, but in the stillness. A river makes noise when it crashes over rocks, but the deepest waters flow silently. Your growth is the same. The most powerful changes in you happen in silence, when no one is watching, when no one is listening, when you are alone with yourself. That is when your hidden prayers are formed. That is when your soul is strongest. It takes courage to embrace silence. It takes strength to remain still while the world demands noise. But August 28 confirms that what you build in silence will eventually be revealed in light. You may feel unseen, unheard, overlooked, but the silence you are enduring is shaping you. It is teaching you patience. It is sharpening your clarity. It is breaking down the unnecessary and revealing what is essential. The strength you will carry into August 28 is not built by noise. It is built by the silent sacrifices that no one else saw. Growth in silence is not easy, but it is necessary. Every hidden prayer you spoke was not just a request, it was a moment of transformation. Each time you turned inward instead of outward, you were choosing strength over weakness. Each time you kept going when nobody knew your struggle, you were creating resilience. On August 28th, these silent acts come together as a reminder that nothing hidden is ever wasted. The silence you lived through was not punishment, it was preparation. It is important to remember that silence does not mean nothing is happening. The seed in the ground grows silently before it ever breaks the surface. The dawn approaches in silence before the first light appears. The most important shifts are always quiet. August 28 is the day that shows you the silence was working all along. The hidden prayers were shaping the unseen roots of your future. The silence was building the foundation so that what is revealed will stand strong and unshaken. In silence, you find yourself. In silence, you hear the truth of your own heart. In silence, you see what noise always distracted you from. August 28 is not just about prayers being answered. It is about realizing that silence was never your enemy. Silence was your ally, your teacher, your guide. It held you together when the noise of life would have broken you. It gave you the chance to listen to the deeper voice within, the one that speaks without words but carries greater wisdom than any sound. Do not be afraid of silence. Do not run from it. Embrace it as the place where you are transformed. On August 28, recognize the value of every hidden moment, every quiet cry, every wordless prayer. And you were never wasted. They were the most powerful part of your journey. You may have thought nothing was happening, but everything was happening. Silence was not the absence of growth. It was the presence of growth in its purest form. Now you stand in a moment where the hidden becomes visible. August 28 is the day where silence reveals its strength, where your hidden prayers begin to take shape. Remember this truth. The loudest victories are born in the quietest struggles. The role of silence in growth is undeniable. Without it, you would not be ready. Without it, your prayers would not take root. With it, you are prepared, refined, and transformed. So let August 28 mark the day you no longer fear silence. Let it be the day you honor it, because silence has been the true companion of your growth, the true guardian of your hidden prayers, and the true strength behind every step you now take. The prayers of silence are the ones that move mountains. And on August 28, those mountains begin to shift. Waiting is one of the hardest lessons in life. It stretches your patience, it shakes your confidence, and it tests your faith. Yet waiting is not an empty space. Waiting is not wasted time. Waiting is the silent ground where transformation takes place. August 28 becomes a powerful reminder of this truth, that every moment you thought was delay was actually preparation, and every season of silence was shaping you for what was to come. Transformation through waiting is real, and without it, you would not be ready to receive what you prayed for. On August 28, when hidden prayers rise into answers, it is not only about what arrives in your hands, but about who you have become while waiting. Waiting sharpens you in ways you could never imagine. It forces you to grow in strength you didn't know you had. It strips away your need for control and teaches you the rhythm of trust. It makes you face yourself in the most honest way possible, because in the silence of waiting, you cannot hide behind distractions. You are left with your thoughts, your emotions, your fears, and you are called to rise above them. This is the hidden work of waiting, and it is what makes August 28 so meaningful. Transformation is never loud. It happens quietly over time, in the space where nothing seems to be moving. A seed does not break open instantly. It remains buried, unseen for a season. But in that waiting, the seed is transforming. It is pushing roots deeper. It is preparing itself to rise strong when the time comes. Your life is no different. The hidden prayers you spoke were seeds. August 28 is not only the day when they break through the soil, it is also the day you realize how much strength you gained while waiting underground. The truth is, if everything you asked for had been given instantly, it would have been too soon. You were not ready. The strength, the wisdom, the clarity, the patience, these were not yet fully formed in you. That is why the answer was delayed, not denied. Waiting was not punishment. Waiting was preparation. August 28 shows you that every tear in the waiting was watering the soil. Every long night was shaping your resilience. Every moment you doubted but chose to keep believing, Irving was strengthening the foundation of your spirit. Self-growth is born in waiting. This is where the true transformation happens. When nothing around you seems to shift, you are given the chance to shift within yourself. Waiting teaches you to detach from control, to let go of what you cannot change, and to focus on what you can strengthen inside. It teaches you to breathe deeper, to hold patience like a shield, to rise without rushing. It is in waiting that you learn discipline, and discipline is the path to freedom. On August 28th, when the answers arrive, you will look back and see that the waiting was the greatest gift. The delays you hated were the very moments that formed the person who now stands ready. The transformation is not only in the answered prayer, but in the fact that you are not the same person you were when you first whispered that prayer. You have grown through the waiting, and this growth is what makes you capable of holding what comes next. It is important to remember that transformation is never comfortable. Waiting feels heavy. It feels endless. It makes you question yourself, your path, even your worth. But every struggle in waiting carries purpose. You were being stretched, not broken. You were being refined, not ignored. You were being prepared for August 28th, for the moment when silence would turn into movement and hidden prayers would rise into answers. The strength you carry now is proof that waiting was never wasted. The real secret is that waiting is not about what you are waiting for. It is about who you are becoming while you wait. If you only focus on the outcome, you will miss the transformation happening inside you. The real treasure is not the answered prayer itself. It is the growth, the clarity, the resilience, the faith that has been built along the way. August 28 shows you this truth. It reveals that what you received is valuable, but who you became while waiting is priceless. Do not despise waiting, and do not run from it. Waiting is the furnace of transformation. It is where strength is forged, where character is shaped, where clarity is born. Without waiting, answers would be meaningless because you would not have the capacity to carry them. With waiting, answers arrive with power and you are able to hold them with steady hands. August 28 reminds you that the waiting has ended, but the transformation remains. It will carry you forward into every season beyond this one. So let this day be your reminder that waiting was not delay. It was design. It was shaping you for this exact moment. It was aligning you with the strength you needed to step into what is now unfolding. On August 28th, as hidden prayers come alive, recognize that the transformation you went through in the silence is the true victory. The waiting made you ready. The waiting made you strong. The waiting made you whole. And now, because of that waiting, you are prepared to walk into the life that once only lived in your prayers. When a hidden prayer is finally answered, the heart must rise in gratitude. It is not only about what you receive, but about the recognition that you were never abandoned. August 28th is the day that calls you to celebrate, to honor the unseen hand that carried you, to acknowledge that even in silence you were heard. Gratitude is the highest response when your hidden prayers come alive because it transforms the answer into more than a gift. It turns it into a source of light that continues to grow. On August 28th, when what was hidden becomes visible, you must not rush past the moment. Too often people ask, receive, and then move forward without reflection. They forget the nights of waiting, the weight of patience, the strength built in silence. They forget how deep the longing once was, how many times they nearly gave up, how many tears watered the soil of their prayers. But on August 28th, the lesson is clear: do not forget. Do not forget the silence. Do not forget the struggle. Do not forget the preparation. Gratitude means remembering, and in remembering, you expand the blessing instead of letting it fade. Celebration is not noise, it is awareness. It is the choice to recognize that you are living inside an answered prayer right now. What you once begged for in silence is now before you. It may not look exactly as you imagined, but it has arrived. On August 28th, gratitude shifts your perspective. You no longer see life as a cycle of asking and waiting. You begin to see life as a flow of receiving, of learning, of growing. Gratitude allows you to notice how every step, even the painful ones, were necessary to bring you here. Self-growth cannot happen without gratitude. Without gratitude, you remain blind to what has already been given. Without gratitude, you live as if nothing is enough, as if the waiting was wasted, as if the silence was meaningless. But when you choose gratitude on August 28, everything changes. The answer is no longer just an event, it becomes a revelation. You see clearly that your hidden prayers were shaping you even while you thought nothing was happening. You realize that the silence was not emptiness, but fullness, not absence, but presence. Gratitude opens your eyes to the truth that life has always been carrying you, even in the unseen. The celebration of answered prayers also brings humility. On August 28, you are reminded that you did not reach this moment by your own strength alone. You endured, yes, you held on, yes, but the unseen forces that moved in your favor were greater than your effort. Humility makes you cherish the answer without pride. It allows you to receive with open hands instead of clenched fists. Humility teaches you that every gift is a reminder of grace and gratitude is the only proper response. Celebration is also about sharing. The answer to your hidden prayers is not meant to remain only with you. On August 28, the energy of gratitude calls you to let your growth shine for others. By living in thankfulness, you become an example of hope for those still waiting. You remind them that silence is not abandonment, that waiting is not denial, that hidden prayers are never ignored. Your gratitude becomes their strength, your celebration becomes their encouragement. In this way, your answered prayer multiplies, spreading beyond you into the lives of others. But gratitude is not only for the arrival, it must also remain for the journey ahead. On August 28, when your hidden prayers are answered, the temptation may come to think the journey is finished, but life is not finished. Gratitude must continue because more seasons will come, more silence will test you, more waiting will shape you. Gratitude is what keeps your heart soft through each new cycle. It is what reminds you that if August 28 carried answers, then so will the future days that now seem uncertain. Gratitude builds trust that the flow will never end. It is dramatic because it changes your entire posture toward life. Without gratitude, you are always chasing. With gratitude, you are always receiving. Without gratitude, you are restless. With gratitude, you are at peace. Gratitude is not small, it is powerful. It anchors you to the truth that you are already living inside miracles, that prayers have already been answered, that you are not empty-handed. August 28 is the invitation to step into this awareness fully and completely. So celebrate your answered prayers, not with noise, but with awareness, not with pride, but with humility, not with fleeting joy, but with lasting gratitude. Let August 28 be the day you remember that nothing was wasted, that everything had purpose, that the silence shaped you and the waiting prepared you. Gratitude is the final step of transformation. It closes the circle of prayer, waiting and receiving, and it opens a new circle of growth, faith, and trust. On August 28, live in gratitude. Let it fill you, let it expand you, let it guide you. The answer you now hold is not the end. It is the beginning of a new chapter shaped by thankfulness. The hidden prayers are no longer hidden, and your heart filled with gratitude is the proof that you are ready for more.